My name is Tabitha, and I'm 40 years old. My husband, Tom, is 42 and works for a major telecommunications company. We've been married for 15 years. We haven't been blessed with children, but we enjoy our time together as a couple. Yet, Tom has had a mistress, Anna, for the past 10 years. What the heck? What are you doing? Isn't it obvious? I'm moving out, so I called a moving company. What do you mean? How could you deceive me for 10 years? To think you've been supporting a mistress for all this time while acting normal at home is just disgusting. I'll grant you your wish and divorce you. No, I didn't want a divorce. There's a reason for all this. I don't want to hear your excuses. I'm leaving this house right away. This house, which was my grandparents', was extensively remodeled by my father, who paid a lot for it. I've put up not only the furniture for sale but the house as well, so you better leave too. Suddenly, Tom turned pale as I broke the news. Please forgive me, Tom pleaded in a voice as faint as a mosquito's. But my husband was. Why did Tom end up in this situation? Oh, that was stressful. It's been a long day. This was the conversation with Julie as we were leaving on our first day at the major telecommunications company, having been assigned to the same department. Isn't our trainer, Tom, kind of scary? I heard that Ivan is highly regarded for the future. A man who's competent at his job is attractive, isn't it? At that time, I had no interest in Tom whatsoever. So, you and Ivan, along with Tabitha, are going on an overseas business trip, right? Tabitha is fluent in French and is competent at her work, so it's a natural choice. It was my second year with the company. I wanted to be recognized for my work and build my career. This business trip was an opportunity one had been hoping for. I want you to support me, both professionally and personally. Tom confided in me after we returned. Personally? I mean, I want you to date me with the intention of getting married. I had never considered Tom romantically, but after spending time together on the business trip and having various conversations, I thought we clicked. We could start off just trying it out. That's what he said, and so I began dating Tom with the idea of just trying it out. 2 years later, Tom got promoted to section chief. He was thriving at work, saying it was incredibly fulfilling. I aim to reach the top of this company. For that, I need a great partner. I want Tabitha to support me from behind. In other words, I want you to marry me. It was a sudden proposal from Tom. Does that mean you want me to quit my job? I get it, I get what you're saying, Tabitha. You're talented and the company needs you. That's exactly why I want you to make me shine. It's about marriage and producing. I didn't quite understand, but essentially, he wanted me to quit my job and take care of the home. I was torn. What? Why is it assumed Tabitha has to quit? If we change departments, there's no need for you to leave. It's only been 4 years since you joined, right? There's still so much ahead. You are definitely the type to become a career woman. There are plenty of people who can replace me at work, right? But I'm the only one who can be Tom's wife, I think. Don't you think you can balance both work and household chores? I'm not that capable. That's why I'm thinking of focusing on the family first and then maybe returning to work in the future. If we're blessed with 2 or 3 kids, I want to commit to raising them. I hate doing things halfway. When did you fall for Tom so much, Tabitha? When it's just the 2 of us, he's not the scary Tom from the company. Making Tabitha so determined, he must be quite something. And so, Tom and I got married. I was 26, and Tom was 28 at the time. Hey Tom, we've been married for 2 years now, right? But we haven't been able to have a baby. Is something wrong, do you think? Should we try fertility treatments? Tabitha, you're overthinking it. It's not unusual to not have a child after 2 years. You always talk about wanting kids, but I'm not that keen on them, you know. What? Didn't we promise when we got married? You said it was okay to want them right away and to have 3. No, I haven't forgotten, but you're still 28, Tabitha. There's no need to rush, it'll happen eventually. Tom was optimistic, but I had planned to have children early and return to work once they were older. That's why I quit my job and married Tom. For now, I'll go to a fertility clinic. If it comes to fertility treatments, I'll need your cooperation, Tom. Tom didn't seem to listen or respond. Fertility treatments were physically and mentally challenging. Still, I didn't give up and pursued fertility treatments for 6 years. I might be at my limit. I accidentally let my true feelings slip in front of Tom. Maybe giving up is the only option. Life without kids could be fun in its own way. Hey, Tom, please, would you go get checked for fertility issues just once? What? You think it's my fault? It's not that, but there has to be some reason we haven't been able to conceive. I just want to eliminate the possibilities one by one to find the cause. Please! Tom grumbled but reluctantly agreed to get tested. The results showed that Tom had azoospermia. No wonder we hadn't been able to conceive for 6 years. So what? You think you've drawn the short straw or something? Tom was obviously feeling guilty. He snapped back. I've outperformed men my age at work and became the youngest department head. Not being able to have kids is trivial, not a big deal. I've decided to give up on having children, so can I go back to work? I promise I won't neglect the household chores. You've only got 4 years of work experience and already so confident. At best, you could work a cash register at the local supermarket. You should stop with the job discrimination. I plan to help out at my mother's jewelry store. My mother is a jewelry designer who runs her own store selling her creations. Naming her designs was my only job. But now, I want to work in the store and interact with customers. Here goes Tabitha, bragging about her parents again. Your dad is a bank president, and your mom is a jewelry advisor, right? Grew up overseas, and you have a vacation home in Hawaii, don't you? I couldn't care less about all that. Eventually, Tom consented to me working. One day, as I was coming home from work, I found Kelly, my mother-in-law, standing in front of the house. What are you doing here, Kelly? Oh, it's late, isn't it, Tabitha? How long do you think I've been waiting? I hurriedly let Kelly into the house. I'm sorry for making you wait. If you had let me know in advance, I could have avoided this. Every time I come, this house is so lovely. It's spacious, clean, and simple. I'm jealous. My place is a mess with the grandkids running around, clutter everywhere, and my daughter-in-law is not good at tidying up. If you have 3 grandkids, that's understandable. On the contrary, it must be lively every day. I'm actually jealous. Kelly lives in the countryside with Tom's brother's family. Where have you been until this hour, Tabitha? I was at work. Work. I haven't heard anything about that. Yes, because I haven't mentioned it, I thought but swallowed my words. In a position to work? I haven't heard any news about you having children. Could it be your fault? I hadn't told my mother-in-law about the fertility treatments, let alone that Tom was the reason. Do you intend to go on without having children? You know, a woman is only considered fully accomplished once she has children. They say there's no greater job than raising children. I was hoping for a granddaughter from you, Tabitha. Really, you've been nothing but a disappointment. Afterward, Kelly started complaining about Tom's sister-in-law. Mom had a fight with my brother and his wife. Tom reported after Kelly went to bed. My brother emailed me, saying she stormed out. She's got a tough personality. Seems like she's always arguing with Mom. My brother is caught in the middle, having a hard time. How long does your mother plan to stay here? What's that supposed to mean? You saying she's a burden? No, that's not it. I was thinking about meals and adjusting my work schedule if needed. It's fine if I take some time off from the store, maybe I should take her sightseeing. Kelly had come to our house 3 years ago. Back then, she only stayed overnight, so I wondered if there was somewhere she wanted to go. Yeah, I'd like her to stay and relax. She can't get peace and quiet at my brother's place. Alright, I'll make sure your mom gets to visit the places she wants to and do the things she wishes. But as Kelly showed no signs of leaving, I started to feel a bit fed up. Are you sure it's okay for me to go to work, Kelly? It's fine, it's fine. I know my way around the house and the neighborhood by now. Is she planning to stay indefinitely? My bad feeling was confirmed. That's why I'm saying we should live with my mom. I had thought Tom might suggest it someday. My brother and I talked, and his wife can't forgive Mom this time. We have plenty of space here, and it would be helpful for you if Mom took care of the household chores. Absolutely not. But the atmosphere made it hard to say no. I vaguely agreed while trying to figure out a way to send Kelly back. I had made plans to meet Julie, a coworker from my first job. She said she needed to talk. Is this urgent matter about Julie getting married? Both Julie and I are turning 40 this year. Julie is still working at the company where Tom is, and she's sticking to being single. I keep telling you, I'm not going to get married. It's not that I can't, I just choose not to. It feels like our conversations always start this way. Okay, serious talk now. Last Sunday, I saw Ivan, the department head, shopping with a woman and a girl who seemed to be her daughter. Which woman? A former employee of our company. I was her mentor when she was new. But what's bothering me is why she was with Ivan. Actually, that woman, Anna, is the wife of our company's executive director. It's getting hard to keep track of all these characters. The executive director? Isn't he about 60 years old? Exactly. Both the executive director and Anna are on their second marriage. Anna's daughter is from her previous marriage, so she's not his child. There's a 25-year age gap. It must be for the money, and soon she'll be his caretaker. Tom is involved with that woman? It just doesn't sit right with me. So, I did some digging. I once dreamed of becoming a detective, even considered attending detective school. This might be hard for you to hear, Tabitha. Are you saying Tom and Anna have been having an affair? If it were just an affair, it might be better, but can I continue? I was scared, but nodded. Anna was having an affair with the executive director, who left his wife and children to marry her. Anna, being a single mother, probably didn't mind the age difference. This Anna, she's like a femme fatale. I know because I mentored her. At first glance, she seemed like a plain, unsophisticated country girl. But when I saw her recently, she had transformed into someone sophisticated and completely different. Did Anna quit the company after remarrying the executive director? She didn't quit. If she had, none of this with Ivan would have happened. Everyone was walking on eggshells around her because she was the executive director's wife. It would have been easier if she had left. But Anna started acting all high and mighty at the company. Hearing all this, I can't see Tom falling for Anna. Plus, I can't imagine him risking it all for the executive director's wife. Tabitha, think about it. Why do you think Ivan became a department head at such a young age? You're not suggesting he cozied up to Anna to get in good with the executive director? I had never thought of him as someone who'd stoop so low, but Tom's ambition was undeniable. Otherwise, there's no reason for Ivan to have an affair with Anna, right? But here's what I don't get. Ivan and Anna have been in a mistress relationship for 10 years. 10 years? I never saw any signs of it. Such betrayal. Are you okay, Tabitha? Can you handle hearing this? I've come this far, I need to hear it all to understand. I think his initial goal was to become a department head, no doubt. But there must have been something about Anna that attracted him. The quiet types are the ones who turn bold when they change. Apparently, this was the kind of interaction Ivan and Anna had. Julie then began to detail more specifically. What? The executive director was abusive? Anna looked like she was about to cry. He's definitely quick-tempered and easily angered. He even tried to lay hands on Marie, so I was desperate to protect her. I don't care what happens to me, I deserve it. But Marie has nothing to do with this. The executive director took on Anna's debt, leaving her unable to defy him. I want to leave the house, but I have nowhere to go, and I don't know what to do. Tom couldn't leave Anna and her trembling shoulders alone upon hearing this. Then, I'll rent an apartment for you. It's no big deal, but will the executive director allow you to separate? I think it'll be fine. He's always saying, "Get out." It's like his catchphrase. That's how Tom ended up renting an apartment for Anna and Marie to live in. Initially, Tom was nervous. He was always on edge, wondering when the executive director would storm in. So, he never stayed overnight at Anna's apartment. Really? You'll really come to Marie's sports day? Isn't there a parents' race for elementary school kids? You're saying you'll do the three-legged race with Marie, as her father? We might come in last, though. This way, Tom actively attended Marie's events. Anyone would think they were a real family. But it's strange. Why did the executive director marry Anna in the first place? They're living separately, and he doesn't show any affection for Marie. What was the point of the marriage? It's like a trophy, isn't it? He's a show-off, always wanting to be the center of attention, right? So, marrying a woman 25 years younger was just about bragging and being praised by others. That was only at the beginning, though. Right after we got married, he'd take me along to parties and show me off. But he gets bored easily. By now, he's lost interest in me. But that makes things easier for me. Being with Ivan like this is much happier by far. It was a clear example of how unhappy women can attract attention. Julie, thank you for looking into all these details for me. What are you talking about? We were peers under Tom. I opposed you marrying him, didn't I? Maybe I anticipated something like this happening. Now you're living with your mother-in-law, right? I didn't want to see Tabitha, who used to shine so brightly, bogged down and struggling in married life. So, from the outside, I appear as a woman burdened with domestic woes. I made up my mind. Well, the lady herself has come to visit. You must really love Tom. The tone was provoking right from the start. Julie had found this address for me. It's okay, my daughter will be late because of her club activities. The apartment Tom rented was modest. A department head like Tom couldn't afford anything more extravagant. It's fine, I'm open to talking about anything now. I just came to confirm. Do you plan to be with Ivan in the future? If so, I think I need to settle things. Tom and I have been together for 15 years, and out of those, he's been with you for 10. So, it's proof that he also valued his family life with you. I'm satisfied with my current life. Perhaps it's even better this way. I don't live with my husband but still receive financial support. And Tom is being a good father to my daughter, caring for her. I couldn't be happier. Do you receive financial support from Tom? Yes, because the money from my husband alone isn't enough. It seems he's paying quite a bit in child support to his ex-wife's children. Tom doesn't have other expenses, right? He doesn't have kids with you, and you're working hard. Plus, you don't have a mortgage to pay. Well, he has shown his goodwill. My daughter is in middle school and starting to care about fashion. The three of us even go to the mall together. Despite my dilemma of not being able to have children, I can't accept Tom doting on his mistress's daughter. So, you have no intention of leaving Tom? What do you think? Well, I can't leave my husband, so I don't think marrying Ivan will happen, even though he's willing. You are not homely, and he always says he doesn't want to go home, right? He says you're cold to his mother too. The type of wife that mothers-in-law dislike. The whole "I'm a capable woman" vibe. Ivan actually doesn't want you to work. He regrets the marriage, wondering what it was all for. At least, I'm repaying Ivan. I subtly asked my husband and he promoted Tom to department head. And though there's no blood relation, I've given him the experience of being a father to a daughter. Something you could never do. I know Tom is infertile, don't worry. He even considered adoption. She's telling all this to such a mistress. Such private and sensitive matters being discussed so openly. I couldn't even talk to Julie about it. Being loved by two men, I've learned how much it raises one's self-esteem. That reminded me of what Julie said about her starting off as a quiet and unpolished woman. She must have significantly upgraded her looks with the executive and Tom's money. Finding happiness with someone else's money is fine by me, even if it means getting plastic surgery. But I want to remain an independent woman, just in case. Living smartly is more beneficial, especially for beautiful women. Well, keep up the facade of a married couple. Oh, would you mind exchanging contact information? That settled my feelings. Then haste makes waste. And so, I started making arrangements to sell the house, find a new place, and move. What? What are you doing? Isn't it obvious? I called the movers because I'm moving out. You and your beloved mother-in-law better start looking for a place to live too. The house is already sold. How about you two live in a small apartment together? Or maybe with Anna in her place. For people in that tiny apartment might be a squeeze, though. What's all this commotion? Oh, mother-in-law, I'm leaving, so you and Tom can do as you please. Huh? What are you talking about? I'm divorcing Tom. At that moment, Tom prostrated himself and begged, please forgive me. I have nowhere else to go. Oh. What about Anna's place? Tom fell silent. Oh, that's right. You were dumped by Anna, weren't you? Now you really have nowhere to go. Hey, Tom, do you understand why Anna dumped you? If not, let me enlighten you. I played the recording of a phone call I had received from Anna. Tom and I are done. Did you know Tom got fired from the company? My husband found out and publicly humiliated him in front of the employees. Were you pretending to go to work in front of you? Leaving home saying he was going to work but coming straight to me instead. A few days is one thing, but living like that for 2 months? Constantly complaining about the company and you, it just became too much. I'm so glad I never married him. It's just so boring, lying around all day. Maybe the thrill was only there because our affair was a secret. Once the excitement fades, it all becomes dull. He was saying something about running out of money, so I guess it's time to part ways. I'm sorry to you, but he's your problem now. I have no use for him anymore. So, Tom, what do you think about that? Tom was dumbfounded. Now cut off by his mistress and me, what would Tom regret? But don't think I'll let Anna off the hook. I'll be demanding compensation from both Tom and Anna for 10 years of betrayal. I wonder how much I can squeeze out of Tom now that he has nowhere to go. Oh, why don't you go to your brother's place? It'll be fun with the family growing. Tabitha, Tom has a job. If he goes to the countryside, he won't be able to work. It's a waste, especially after he made it to department head. You're really harsh on Tom. Oh. Tom has a job? Tom was trembling and pale. You got fired, right? Told so by the executive director himself? Well, that's expected, considering you were involved with his wife. What are you talking about? The executive director is really clueless, not noticing for 10 years. I didn't notice either. But why? You approached Anna for a promotion, but when did you lose your heart to her? Because she was so homely. Your cooking is delicious, Tabitha, but it's all modern and colorful. I prefer traditional dishes, so she captured my heart that way. Right, Tom is quite the mama's boy. You love the traditional dishes and grilled fish his mother makes. How much did this house sell for? We've lived here for 15 years, but it's still pretty clean since we don't have kids. Oh, by the way, mother-in-law, the reason we don't have kids is because of Tom. He's infertile. How could we have kids then? In times like these, bringing up such disadvantageous information, Tabitha, you really have a terrible personality. It's a blessing to be able to divorce such a woman, Tom. Let's live together. You'll find a job soon enough. You were a department head at such a big company. Do you have money to rent a place? You've been borrowing money from colleagues to support Anna, right? You might have borrowed money from friends from school days without my knowledge. And when that wasn't enough, you borrowed from every consumer finance company, right? Planning to turn to loan sharks next? Sorry, but I want nothing to do with a man drowning in debt. Especially one who pretends to be lavish just to impress his mistress. I wonder what Anna spends all that money on. Looks like the movers are done, so I'll be going. What happened to Tom and his mother afterward? As expected, they went to live with his brother in the countryside, enduring snide remarks but sticking together. And you went through with the compensation claims? Yes, Tom's mother paid from her savings, meant for her retirement. I also claimed compensation from Anna, but the executive director covered for her. It's frustrating that I couldn't make Anna feel the impact. Huh? Haven't you heard? It seems Anna started dating her daughter's tutor, but it was a misunderstanding. What do you mean? It was all one-sided love from Anna. Well, of course, the guy is a college student. She ended up stalking him, and the police issued a restraining order. Even the executive director is fed up and planning to divorce her. He gave money to you because he sympathized with you, thinking you suffered the same way he did. It would be so satisfying if Anna got dumped by the executive director. Is Tom still living at his brother's place? It seems he moved out because it was too cramped. It's hard to find a job in the countryside. Not that I'm praising him, but he's competent, so he should be able to make a living with his experience. No, you've got it all wrong. Tom is swamped with debt repayments because he borrowed money from everywhere. He started working a construction job with lodging, but it mentally and physically drained him, and he ended up going away. An elite like Tom doing construction work is just impossible. I'm done with it. I'm going to live positively. My mother entrusted me with her jewelry store, so I have to make it thrive even more. That's the Tabitha you should be. You shine when you're working. True to those words, I am living a fulfilling and vibrant life.